Your college women's lacrosse, second round after the win over Plymouth State.
Coach, why don't you start out and give us your overview of today's game?
We talked a lot about focuses for the game on defense, on offense, in the clear. So defensively, we wanted to play very fundamental but aggressive and under control, cover the middle, and make sure we were pressuring them on the outside and getting on their hands. We felt like they were going to struggle with the pressure of our defense on the perimeter. So I felt like we definitely accomplished that. They weren't really able to get any clean looks defensive or offensively against our defense. On offense, we were focusing on sharing the ball and really staying spread in our set, moving it, looking up, keeping heads up, and using everyone. We have so much talent out there that we want to make sure we continue to have everybody step forward to contribute with assists and scoring. So I felt like we did that today. We had 15 assists out of 20 goals, which is really positive. So I think all over the field, we really focused on the keys that we talked about in the locker room, and that's why we were successful.
You got to play a team with having the bye, but they had to play back-to-back games. How tough is that for any team, no matter what round of tournament you're in, to play back-to-back games? Because that's what you have to face to get all the way to the national championship. For sure.
It's hard. It is hard, but you can't get away from it. Like, from here on out, you have to play back-to-back. Everybody's in the same situation. Everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's tired. Everybody's hot, and you got to figure it out. So moving forward, like this, it's nice to have a bye this first game for sure. And just moving forward now, everybody's on the same page, on the same plane. It's an equal playing field.
Conversely, it's been 8 days since you guys have played. So how do you guys get back into the game day mindset?
I didn't even really think about that. I don't think these guys did either. I didn't even do the math on that. They're ready to go. I trust them. Like, I don't care. It could be 25 days and they're ready. So that's a great question. I didn't even realize that. Not even something we thought about.
You guys have had since the season started.
We didn't even talk about it or remember it. I don't think it matters for us.
Zoe, talk about the way the offense was working today. You heard Coach mention that the assists being so high. Touch on that and how the offense worked today.
Yeah, we were definitely looking to share the ball today. Like Coach said, we have so many tools and we want to make sure everyone is being used and really keeping our heads up and looking for that assist. That's been a huge focal point in practice this week, not only in our motion offense, but also in the plays we do and making sure we're picking that right pass. So definitely worked on that and showed it today.
On the other side of the ball, the defense was swarming all over the field. What did you see out of your teammates, Nesiah?
I definitely just think we were going high pressure after watching yesterday. We knew that would definitely be a focal point for us, is really getting on their hands and kind of making them work under pressure, which kind of worked to our advantage. You know, we had multiple players come out picking off passes, forcing them to make bad passes, and we were capitalizing off of that, coming up with the ball and, you know, giving it back to the offense so they could do their job. So.
Coach, talk a little bit about what you saw out of their goaltender today. Like, even though you guys got 20 past her, I felt like she was making great save after great save all day today.
She's really good weak side hip, which we don't see that a lot. We tend to shoot there on purpose, but she was making some saves there. We wanted to make sure we got closer to her to shoot today because it seemed like when we were a little farther out, she was seeing those pretty well. So I thought she was a pretty good goalie and somebody that we had to adjust in game to, and we haven't had that in a couple games. So I think that's good practice for like moving forward in the tournament.
Speaking of moving forward in the tournament, now that you're past this weekend, you know, you always want to keep your head where your feet are in terms of the tournament. Can't look ahead at all. But now that we're here, what do you think about heading into this next weekend?
I'm really excited. Like, this is the team to do it for sure. I think the games are still going on, so I'm not sure who we're playing on Saturday yet, but I just, like, they've had the mentality all season that they don't care who we're playing. They're just going to bring our product to the table, and it's been working time and time again. So, like, this is the time to keep that mindset going forward, and you have to get past, like, and get past good teams in the tournament. You can't escape that. Maybe the first game today, you can get away with not having that, but every game moving forward is going to be one of the best teams in the division, us included. So we just need to bring everything we've been bringing to the table the last 2 months this weekend, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Zoe, these 7 goals came off of the bench. Talk about the value of some of those girls getting an opportunity here in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, like Coach said, this is the team to do it, and we have that deep bench, and we can get these players on. We can get sharing the ball, not only like us, the starting attackers, but when they come in, they're also producing, and that's something we haven't had in the past. So to have that is really dangerous, and I think we can use it going into the tournament.
On the defensive side, only 9 shots total by Plymouth State. Talk about how the defense was able to make that happen.
I think it just goes back to the pressure. We talked a lot of the first 2 goals they had. One was an 8-meter and one was a fast break. And we were like, listen, as long as we can stop the initial run at the goal, we knew that we could hold them down. So our game plan was kind of like, hey, if they're coming hot, slow them down, and then we knew we could do our job. So that was kind of our mindset. Obviously, we always want to avoid the 8 meters as much as possible, and I think we did a really great job of that today because we had such high pressure. They weren't even able really to get within the scoring area. So.
Coach, Maddie's been really good at the draw all year, but it seemed like you struggled a little bit. You switched to Leah for a chunk of the game. Talk about what you saw there at the draw today.
Matchups are different every game. Sometimes we have a handle on the other person. Sometimes they have a strategy that maybe doesn't go up against one of our drawers well. So, if Maddie's working, we're going to stick with her. If it's not working, then we have 2 other people that have been showing a lot of potential in practice. So we just decided to make the early switch today and see what came of that, and then it kind of clicked in a little bit. We were doing a little bit better of a job directing it, and then also really getting in on the circle. So sometimes it's just the matchup is not right, and you kind of need to move a couple players around, and that's where Zoe said we have a lot of depth attacking wise and draw midfield wise, so we can make some adjustments and then get right back in. So I think that's just where it makes us really dangerous, and we didn't have that in past seasons. So I'm excited.
Well, congratulations on a great win and moving on to the Sweet 16.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.